Welcome back to the Guardians of the Gridiron show. It is I, the Steady Wop in the flesh.
The one and only.
Here with Uncle Tone, a.k.a. Ant. And...
Shit down
in the world.
Alright, let's get started. Give you guys a little recap of the Fantasy Football League. And we'll go over who won real quickly, alright?
Yeah.
So
you probably could guess it.
Yeah, we all three got those W's again.
Eating dubs over here.
I had a very controversial week. We're not going to go into details.
We don't have to discuss that quite yet.
It was a very tight one with Ranger the Robot.
So we're filming this Tuesday night.
Yes.
We don't know the outcome of the controversy, and we also can't speak to waiver wire pickups. They haven't happened yet.
Best of luck to whoever gets that W.
Yeah.
Let's see, who went off for my team, though? Oh, the start of the week for me, Patriots defense dropping 40 points.
Jesus
It
Christ.
doesn't get much better
40
than that,
points.
guys.
Randy's got to be salty with that.
He was very salty about it.
Furious.
One other guy I wanted to call out was T.Y. Hilton. He came through and he had 4 more catches for 43 yards and a touchdown.
Yet again.
He's tied for the wide receiver touchdowns with 3.
Yeah.
There's a handful of guys with 3 touchdowns right now.
I think that's half of his annual average of touchdowns.
He's looking like he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah,
but
can't lie.
But yeah, Randy had a very consistent week all around. Jimmy Graham had 0 points for him. Tyler Boyd went off for him for 20 points. 10 catches on 10 targets.
Mixon's
100.
Dirty Joe, man.
Dirty Joe's
It's actually not dirty on the field.
But yeah,
It's garbage dirty.
let's keep it rolling though. Let's talk about Anthony.
Yeah, let's get through this real quick.
There.
As I said, got the dub against Grandpa Jack. Another one that I was nervous about. I'm really just skating by with some of these wins. The last game of Sunday night, Falcons-Eagles, I was down by 5 points with a minute left in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Thought I was fucked. I was up at 11:30. I'm like, why did I even watch this game? I'm literally getting up to turn the TV off. Julio Jones, 60 yards screen pass. I have Matt Ryan as well.
Amazing.
It was like a 22-point play for me.
That extra point is what sealed the deal for my victory.
Yeah, and the extra point of that touchdown.
I had Matt Bryant as the kicker.
That
gave Seti
changed
the
everything.
Yeah,
.05.
that one play.
That play.
Literally changed everything.
Letting you pick up Matt Bryant when we were picking up kickers.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I need a kicker.
Right.
Because I was playing without a kicker.
Resulted in Randy's whole mishap.
Let's not go there again.
Right.
But Julio, 20 miles per hour on that touchdown play. Dude was flying.
29 points.
29 points. Travis Kelce, 22 points, 7 for 9, 100 yards and a touchdown.
I don't know why you started sweating him at all.
I'm not sweating him.
No, during the Chiefs game, I remember looking over at you and you're like, dude, where's Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I mean, everyone does that. Where's my guy? Notable bench warmer, John Ross. I think this guy found a spot in my lineup next week. Stay tuned. Just talking loud as shit on
For all
John
that
Ross.
shit you were talking about.
I'm sorry, John Ross. I need you. Another touchdown, baby.
Yeah.
All right,
But,
shit, dog.
Yeah, let's move over to Shep's win.
So I was playing Matt Banghart, homeboy discount double checks, and I came out with another dub. I pulled it out. So I was like Sunday night, it was right. I was down.
Yeah,
You
But
were.
I made a new addition to my team, which you guys will all hear about at some point. But it sent the fantasy league into quite a spiral.
Shep's got a fucking juggernaut over here because a particular player in our league.
We'll get to that segment here in a little
But
bit.
I'll avoid talking about him. Kamara laid an egg for my boy. Didn't for Matt. Matt kind of suffered with Kamara. Definitely suffered with O.J. Howard, and I kind of pulled through with Eckler, always doing what he does.
Eckler, the number 1 running back in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
And Breida had a pretty good game
Dude,
for me. Other than
nice.
that, my guys were just pretty consistent, steady. I had some touchdowns from some big names, but Juju on my team losing Ben is making me question my future right now.
We're also going to get into
let's pump the brakes on that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk Steelers here in a minute.
Yeah.
One other matchup that we needed to touch on real quick. Rich got Mahomed.
He did.
Had Mahomes put
Yikes.
up almost 50 on him. I think 40 points was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And that's really it. Mahomes beat him. ZJ got lucky with some Vance Dance, 2 touchdowns.
Real lucky.
Fucking
He had two 0-point scores from Alshon and Njoku and still won that matchup.
Rich played Deshaun Jackson, so
he had a 0
kind
as
of
well.
evened out there.
That was definitely
Got Mahomes.
the turd match of the week right there.
Terry Ferguson.
Low scoring game between those two.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
run Rich and ZJ's clips here real quick.
Yeah.
Just to get the
hopefully we
recap.
got those if they need them to us.
I know we have Bang Hart's clip. To talk shit about Shep. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll run that real quick here too.
You know what? I'm sure his shit talk maybe has more to do with things that happened amongst the league, not just.
I don't even want to listen to Randy's. We might not even put that into fucking tape this.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Matt, aka Team Discount Double Points. Want to start this video off by saying I'm not concerned here. I know I got off to a slow start. I'm 0-2. But 2 years ago when I first joined this league, I got off to a real slow start. I think 0-3, 0-4. Ended up grinding, making a couple good transactions, and ended up getting to the championship game. You know, split the money with Randy, let him win, throw him a bone because he needs one every once in a while. Then last year I was like, I'm going to come out like gangbusters, start off 6-0, and didn't win another game after that and missed the playoffs out by a game. So we're going back to basics here. We're getting off to a slow start. We're just figuring our team out here. And then when it matters, we're going to start winning some games, get back in the playoffs, and win that championship this year. So we're not looking back in the past. We're only looking forward here at Team Discount Double Points.
Hello. Well, this isn't how I planned to do this. It's not how I imagined it. But I am going to retire from fantasy football. Although, physically, I'm in great shape for fantasy football. You know, I'm in what some would say my prime. Mentally, I'm just not in there. I'm just not in it anymore. My heart's just not in it. And because of that, I think it's time to hang up the iPhone and call it a career. It's not a decision I take lightly. Hardest decision of my life. But for 4 years I've been in this cycle of injury and rehab and injury and rehab. And it's been unrelenting. And for those reasons, this will be my farewell season. The season Carmelo always wanted. The season that Kobe got. I just can't continue to play in a league where there are no rules and, frankly, I don't even recognize it anymore. It started as this beautiful thing, this thing with such promise and integrity. And now it's been reduced to mush. Poop. Butts. I hate it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to subject myself to it. Calling it a career, boys. Hanging it up. Fuck all of you. Fuck you, Anthony, especially.
But anyways, we're going to bring in a special guest here real quick. We're going to talk everything Steelers, another matchup, and go over some Vegas odds. All right, I'm going to bring in my main man here, Tito Bandito. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
What up?
We got Tito in here talking about his not so great matchup this week. He was playing Tom Sarko, Dr. Faggot. Sarko's got a nice squad when it shows up. And this week it showed up.
And it showed up big, man. He had the high score this week.
Yep. Yeah, beat me for the high score.
Balled all over me.
Yeah. Notably, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that hurts for two reasons. Because I'm a diehard Steelers fan.
Yeah.
And because it basically took me out of any possibility of winning this week.
Yeah.
Before the second half started.
I mean, 3 points from your quarterback. You'd probably that week.
Yeah, he wasn't having a good first quarter anyway.
No, it looked like shit the whole offense.
Yeah, it was bad.
Shit.
I mean, none of my players other than, Dalvin Cook, who's having a great year so far.
Dalvin Cook is... I talked about him in the last podcast.
I saw that.
He's balling out.
Yeah.
I think he might finish as an RB1 this year.
Yeah,
RB1.
Devonta Freeman is very frustrating right now, man. Very frustrating.
Yikes. Yeah. You might want to pivot from Freeman. But, I mean, Tom, if Aaron Jones puts up 25 points, Tom is kind of like unbeatable. He's got Aaron Jones and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, there's
AB, who knows what's going to happen there.
We saw a glimpse of what's going to happen there.
Thielen.
They're about to feed AB.
As long as he's
crazy.
on the field, I mean, he might be suspended.
Let's operate under the assumption he's on the field, though.
Yeah,
You know
on
what
the
I mean?
field, AB is going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Adam Thielen, 10 points. The Vikings just aren't throwing the rock. They got Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
They threw the ball more this week, but
I call Kirk Cousins Kirk Manning. I hate him. So it's just.
you lie.
Yeah,
It's crazy how much
got benched this week. So
that dude
it's-
got paid.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Zach Ertz, 16 targets this week. So, yeah. Bottom line, Sarko's got a squad on him, and he's got Melvin Gordon if he comes back.
Who's he play next week?
I do not
Anybody
know.
in this room right now play Tom next week?
Let's see. Week 3, Tom's got Banghart. And Banghart is banged up.
Yeah.
So
Rough
Tom
time.
might have one there. We'll see about that.
There you go.
You got next week.
I got Shep Dog.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Coming off a big trade.
Coming off of a big weird trade.
You need to get yourself a quarterback.
Also
my friend.
very controversial. Also involving ZJ.
Yeah, of course. Who else would
so-
involve?
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
hopefully I got some things a brewing, you know.
Yeah. Okay, you got some
things
trades
going
out
on.
there?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're
Some
trades.
waiver
I'm not
wire
gonna say they're not.
pickups?
Got some stuff a brewing. I think I'm gonna
All right.
make.
We'll
I
discuss
gotta do
that.
something, right? Everybody knows I need a quarterback.
We'll
so
discuss that next week.
It's not a secret. you
Yeah,
know?
I think Seti needs a quarterback as well, so you better hit the fab.
Yeah, man. We'll
Get the
see
fabbing.
if I need to.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways,
Yeah.
we also want to do something fun for you betting guys out there. We picked 2 Vegas odds
Mm-hmm.
that we both really liked. We think you could put some money on it and maybe come back a winner.
Yeah.
Which one were you going with?
I'm gonna go with the Tennessee Jacksonville game this week. I believe Tennessee's favored -1.5, but I see Jacksonville winning that game.
Yeah.
Connor Minshew's gonna come in there, do his thing.
If Connor shows up at all,
Oh,
they could be decent.
Gardner?
What do we say?
Connor. Yeah.
Connor.
Whatever.
Gardner.
Minshew. Nobody knows first names.
Yeah.
Minshew.
Mr. Minshew.
Yeah, man, he looked exciting, man. He's like one of those guys that like it's gonna take a couple weeks for the NFL to kind of figure out what to do with his skill
They
set.
have weapons. They got a good defense. He just needs to be smart with
Well,
the rock.
Jalen Ramsey is
and-
like, is he traded yet? He's not traded.
No.
So
He
he's-
requested a trade.
He might still be playing. He's got to earn a paycheck, right?
We'll
No,
see.
you don't think you play that man? I mean,
I don't know. He's a
see.
He's a nutcase.
we'll
in
see.
the locker room.
He's a competitor though, man. We'll see.
I think you should go to Tampa Bay.
What he just did to
Tampa
Hopkins this last week was no.
No,
was no.
he knows how to lock
no
that down.
fluke, yeah.
But I like that pick. I think Jacksonville could pull that one out. Mine is an over/under. I'm taking the over on Baltimore versus Kansas City. It's at 51.5 right now. I know Baltimore always has a really good defense, but this is Pat Mahomes.
It's going to be a shootout.
We're talking Pat Mahomes versus what people think is going to be this year's Pat Mahomes. I'm calling bullshit. But regardless, Kansas City doesn't have a defense.
Pat Mahomes is
So
just Pat Mahomes.
this isn't the week that we're going to see Lamar Jackson take a step back. He's facing 3 terrible defenses off rip. I think they cover the 51.5 spread.
Yeah, I think they blow it up.
Yeah. We are going to bring my man Seti and Shepdog back in here. They're going to talk some DraftKings value picks and a few other things for you.
All right. Back at it again, Vargo.
Oh yeah.
I know you're a degenerate. I know you like to gamble.
Oh yeah.
I know you like to win.
I like to win.
So, any tips? Any tips? Any tips for this weekend? What you got?
Well, DraftKings, I would say this might be a little bit throw some curveballs because you guys don't know who I used to ride with back in the day, but one of my steals this week is no other than Shepdog 2.0, Cole Beasley.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know you were high on Cole Beasley when he was with
You know
the
what?
Cowboys.
I think he's gonna get some snags this week. He's in that slot
He's great
position.
for PPR.
He is really good, and he's affordable. He's like 4,800.
That's crazy
Maybe lower
because
than that.
my quarterback DFS pick of the week
Yeah.
is actually Josh Allen
No
against the
shit.
Bengals. Yeah,
Wow.
he's $7,500. He's facing the worst rush defense in the NFL right now. I'm expecting him to at least. He's ran a touchdown in the last 6 starts of
He's
his
got wheels.
NFL career so far. So
Yeah.
he's gonna run one in against the Bengals. He's gonna get you that rushing touchdown. He could throw a couple touchdowns in the end zone too. They just got carved up by Jimmy G. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens. Who else do you like this week?
I do not like the Panthers, but I think Samuel is. I like the amount of targets he's
You
getting.
like Curtis, yeah?
Yeah, and not only because he's on my fantasy team, but that dude, he's getting targets. I think he's just going to keep getting a little bit better and better. Hopefully, Cam's in the boot right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as per value right now, he's not bad. And I'm going with my boy Eckler. I'm riding the Eckler train for a while right now.
Yeah, you bet
I think
on that.
I think he's just gonna keep catching the ball and he had a couple big breaks that got thrown back for flags. He had a touchdown that got called back, and then he ended up coughing up the ball on the 1 yard line that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah,
So he could have had a lot more
exactly right.
points this past week than
Oh,
he
for
did.
sure.
But I think I'm hoping he steals Melvin Gordon's job and they just pitch that kid.
So my running back pick this week, very cheap, not a popular name, actually a guy that you know pretty well, none other than Peyton Stinkin' Barber.
Oh, you
This guy. This guy is playing the New York Giants this week, who just faced, if I'm not mistaken, they just faced the Bills, right? The Buffalo Bills, and I'm pretty sure Devin Singletary ran one in against them, and he might have got Josh Allen ran one in too. So I'm expecting Peyton Barber to build some momentum off of his last week against the Panthers.
Frank Gore's old ass ran one in too.
Oh yeah, Frank Gore was the one that vultured one in. So I think the Giants they're gonna struggle. Danny Dimes, rookie quarterback's playing. He's probably gonna give up good field position at least once or twice to the Buccaneers. They're gonna get some goal line tendencies there, and Peyton Barber could smash a few in. And he's only $6,100.
Yeah, I mean, he got 24 touches this past week.
He did well. So
That just people don't know the back history, but Peyton Barber's been on my bench, and
He's been on mine in
He has been
previous
giving me a hard
years.
time, saying he's like the dirty kid in the sandbox that nobody wants to fucking play with.
he's like on your roster, but like he's on there just for like depth purposes. But I was never gonna start.
And
him.
nobody,
Never.
he has outside of this week, he has no trade value. Nobody really wants that guy.
Before we get into trades and trade value, let's talk about our wide receiver picks real quick.
Okay.
So who's
Well,
your?
I already told you I got Beasley.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Other let's hear yours first because we might.
So I had already mentioned him earlier. I'm on the T.Y. Hilton train still. Indianapolis is playing Atlanta, who just kind of got touched up a little bit by a banged up Philly wide receiver corps. They didn't have Alshon, they didn't have Deshaun. They had Nelson Aguilar, J.J. Arcea-Whiteside, and Zach Ertz. And these guys are still struggling to cover those guys. So I think Jacoby Brissett and T.Y. Hilton might connect again for a few more touchdowns.
It's funny you have that. I have Mac on my lineup.
Yeah.
Because
And then-
I think Atlanta is. I don't have any hope in them right now.
Right.
Offensively,
We'll see.
Julio's gonna put up points.
They look
but
good offensively, but their defense is still a big question.
Right. I
mark.
think Mac is gonna keep scooting by with like some good weeks for whoever has him on
But
their
yeah,
team.
and my last pick was Antonio Brown. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, but for where he's going compared to the other elite receivers there, and going against the New York Jets defense, they're playing a third string quarterback, it's gonna be blood that game. It's gonna be just as ugly as this game against Miami.
I use my wide receiver points on Amari.
But yeah, let's get back to talking about trades while we're at it. Let's talk about we're gonna go into a new segment called the ZJ Bonehead Move of the Week. ZJ had a bonehead move last week, I believe. It was when he left Adrian Peterson in his lineup and he had a 0 against me.
Mm-hmm.
Still beat him, would have beat him even if he played, doesn't matter. But he made 2 really big bonehead moves of the week this week. The first one, not even all the way through the 1 o'clock games, trades Baker Mayfield for Giovanni Bernard.
Hard tilt.
I'm not even sure who won that
What's
trade. I don't know who won that trade.
What is more confusing about
To
this
Randy.
trade is Randy, diehard Bengals fan, ZJ, diehard Browns fan, and they just made the dumbest swap
And
ever.
Randy
giving
has
up their
Joe
own
Mixon,
love.
who's struggling. So it's like, Gio actually would probably added more value keeping him on your team, and you traded him because you claimed you needed a quarterback, even though Russell Wilson is like Mr. Steady MVP of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
He still went off against me. He scored like 30-something points
32
against me.
points in our league.
But yeah, and the last bonehead move ZJ made this week, and probably it's not going to be the last of the season, is let's talk about this this trade that you guys made, because a lot of people are questioning the integrity of the league now that trade went down.
One, we don't do trade vetoes anymore because of ZJ.
Yeah.
And I saw an opportunity that maybe his team could get a little bit more depth to it.
Let's talk. What was the trade?
So,
give him some names.
Immediately, I was trying to trade
Let's hear
Stanky
some
Barber
backstory.
because I wanted Stanky Barber off my roster simply
Okay.
because I wanted action and I wanted to get rid of him. So I was gonna try all right, Stanky Barber for.
It was a
Lamar.
good move by you because you sold him when he was high. He came off of a really nice
So,
game.
this is like early Sunday 1:00 games.
Right. Well, I think it was 4:00.
Right at the beginning of the 4:00
Yeah.
actually. So Stanky Barber had 15 points in our league. I'm like, okay, I can maybe squeeze one for Lamar. And then I'm like, well, I really just want a good receiver. And ZJ's main talent is Odell and Keenan Allen. And he's holding on to Keenan Allen. And so I I got some guys on my bench right now. I got Kenny G, who had 25 points already at that point in the
Yeah,
day.
big league.
And then
Who I
Alshon.
still think is a good, valuable
Kenny
fantasy
G,
player.
he is. But my
I would
question,
start him if he was on my team.
yeah, I mean, my question is just, consistency in Detroit's offense
Sure.
to him. But I think he's going to have a good year.
Okay.
Alshon was the other guy on my bench. Well,
You
was
ended up
actually
with a
in
big
my
fat zero.
lineup. Got hurt. So I actually
Dodged a
threw,
bullet there.
I threw like 4 or 5 trades at him. Some of them involved Uncle Tone, because
You were trying to three-way trade out.
yeah,
you telling me.
I'm just mixing it up. Maybe I was just shooting for some action.
Yeah.
But end of the day, he took the trade, Odell Beckham and Lamar Jackson for Stanky Barber, Alshon, and Kenny G.
We'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on this that aren't in the league. So, or even if you are in the league, let's hear it all. All right, let's pop into some other segments real quick before we begin to wrap things up. Jump into our next segment here. This one's called For Real, or Just Playing. So, I know you've all dealt with a couple things in your life where it was either for real, or they were just playing.
Just playing.
We've got 4 separate topics that we would all like to go through and let you know our thoughts on if they're for real or if they're just playing.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with the San Francisco 49ers, starting the year out 2-0.
2-0.
Everybody thought they were the real deal last year, but then
Yeah.
they had all those injuries.
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
They still have some injuries right now,
Jerick McKinnon.
but they're piecing together wins.
Yeah.
So let's hear what your guys' thoughts
Pretty
are.
nice. What do you think?
For real,
Scott?
or just playing?
Those guys are just playing. Kyle Shanahan drinks monsters and watches Destruction Derby on free cable. Get out of here.
Kyle.
Get out of here.
All right.
Playing.
I think they're for real.
Wow.
These motherfuckers got weapons. They got Kittle. They got a bunch of receivers. They don't know who they want to use, but they got
I'm
them.
not sure, right?
And Kyle Shanahan just opens up the running game for every offense he's in. These dudes,
Their backs look good.
Breida, Moser, whoever wants to fucking run the ball, they have these giant gaping holes to run through. So
Tito, what's your thoughts? For real or
I think
playing?
they're 100% for real. And I think they're going to go 3-0 because they play a banged up, confused Steelers team this week.
That's true.
Yeah.
In San Francisco.
Ooh.
So it's
A road game for them.
it's going to be a tough week for my boys, but I think the 49ers and Jimmy G are for real. We said Jimmy G was the real deal coming out of New England, and
we did.
he looked good until he got hurt, and I think he's back.
Looks decent now.
I'm gonna have to go with just playing for these guys. You know what I mean? I don't think they've actually played any real or good teams yet. They've played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with crab legs stealing Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
And then they played a
Banged it
Cincinnati Bengals team who's just doesn't look like they
Not
got it
great.
together still.
They look
good
against
offensively.
Seattle.
What's
But-
Andy Dalton's name? The beige.
Red Rocket?
The Red Rocket?
No, he's like the beige squirt gun or something.
Yeah, something now he is.
Something along those lines, but not a big believer in Jimmy
Alright,
G just
so
yet.
we're-
I've seen some dumb moves by him, but I do like the running backs. I will say that they have a running back by committee that actually works by committee.
It does.
So I like
And they
that.
got Kittle's
Shanahan.
big ass
Yeah.
opening up the middle of the field.
I think end of the day they finish between 7-9 and 9-7. That's what they're gonna be.
I'd go 9-7.
I'm more on the 7-9 side.
And they can make the wild card.
6-10.
6-10.
Harsh words.
Alright, so we're split.
All right.
Table split there.
We'll try and go through these next ones.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Let's talk
quickly.
quarterback.
Yeah, so our quarterback that we like to talk about being for real, or just playing, is none other than Lamar Jackson. So, Shep, you just traded for Lamar. Let's hear what you got to say about him.
Well,
As the second quarterback on your roster.
Well, I got Hollywood Brown. One, get that running back throwing the ball.
Not bad for a running back.
Yeah, I'm like
Real or
secretly-
playing?
He's real, dude.
Real deal?
Baltimore Ravens.
Real deal,
Real deal
Holyfield.
team out there.
All
Right?
right.
Nah, this dude is playing. He's
Playing.
a running back. They're going to start scheming against him. Yes, he looked good throwing the ball. Who was he going against? Fucking Dolphins and the
Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And now he's playing the Chiefs defense. This dude, I think he's a flash in the pan.
I think he's
What do you
for real, a fantasy fucking player. But when it comes to getting deeper into the season, I think he's playing, man. He's playing with fire, so he's playing with.
I'm gonna have to go say for real. And the reason I think he's for real is, and this isn't even by being biased because I have him in my other league too, is I think he's just textbook made for the Ravens. I think they're a match made in heaven together.
They are.
I think everything is just they're building the team around him. You can tell the scheme.
He fits that city's
That good
personality.
defensive, team. You know what I mean? Like they're the real deal. And
He can run the rock,
He's a
that's for
playmaker.
sure. It's
You don't
his
win the
throwing.
Heisman for no reason like that. You know
It's
what I
his
mean?
throwing that's up in the air. We'll see how
Yeah.
accurate he can
I
be.
saw him singing the Rock, man. He was
Yeah.
nice.
He's got
Well,
a
just
cannon.
with better coverages, you're gonna see if he starts forcing throws, because like
For
he's
sure.
gonna gain this confidence making these throws right now.
We'll know week 8 or week 9 when he plays the Patriots.
You're
If
gonna
he's
know
for
before
real
that.
or just playing.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely a big game on their schedule.
All right. At running back, we got a rookie running back that we want to know what's for real. Week 1, he did some things.
He did
for
some
my
big
boy
things.
Sedney here.
Josh
Week 2,
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs didn't do a whole lot. What do you guys think?
He still had 12 carries for 92 yards.
Yeah.
That's very good production still. That's
Yards per carry.
That's
nice.
seven yards per carry, but a little bit more than that, about 7.5. I gotta go on the for real. You know what I mean? Like the Raiders played, a Denver Broncos team that has a strong defensive front, not a great offense. He ran all over him.
Yeah.
They go out, they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they get Mahomes. They're playing catch
They're
up.
playing behind.
So they only got 12 carries.
Right.
When they play teams that are, not Kansas City, I think dude's gonna show up and he's gonna show out.
Yeah.
And he's a workhorse.
What do you think, Ty?
I think everybody's got to keep in mind that the Raiders, their rookie DB or safety Abrams he's done for the year, so that hurt their defense.
That does hurt.
He wasn't on the field 12 carries. I mean, he wasn't on the field that much. He got 12 carries. The Raiders defense is playing most of the game. It is what it is. I think he's gonna have success again, fantasy wise, in some weeks, and then some weeks he's just gonna struggle because the offenses are gonna be there to get a rhythm.
So,
can see that.
so you in the middle? You're for real, he's playing.
I think he's for real.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna be able to reach his full potential this year.
And I'm very similar to you. So I think his talent is for real. The dude can run the rock. I think his fantasy value is just playing. I think the Raiders are going to be down often. And I think he's going to find himself in that, that gameplay scheme where they're playing catch up and he's only getting 15 carries. So I think he's talented. I don't think he's going to be, a top 12 running back this year.
Okay. Fair.
Well, you guys know my bold prediction of the year was Josh Jacobs, top 5 fantasy running back.
You could get there still.
He could.
I think he's for real. I also think John Gruden is probably finishing up a cookout right now, thinking about how he's going to get Josh Jacobs into the pass game.
Yeah.
He needs to catch the rock.
Yeah, I mean,
does.
if he needs to take over. Like Chubb was kind of looking, he was catching the ball out of the backfield. They have him playing out
Wild
wide.
with it,
They
yeah.
need to do the same thing with Josh.
They need to get creative moving forward for
they
sure.
do.
Right.
They do.
So let's move into our last candidate for the segment. Another rookie, Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Ohio State Buckeye.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say he's the #1 receiver for the Washington
Oh,
Redskins.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
Name another receiver for the Redskins.
Anyways, I'm gonna say this guy is.
Wow, man, Chiefs are something this year, but a lot of people are forgetting about the 2002 Chiefs, like Priest Holmes running all over the place, tearing it up. 29 years old, and he had 2,300 yards from scrimmage, and he had 24 touchdowns, 70 catches. People don't want to talk about Priest Holmes. The next year, he had 27 touchdowns. Like, he was 30 years old doing this type of thing, and nowadays, everybody acts like Pat Mahomes is the only guy who ever played in a Chiefs jersey.
Hey, Shaq, what are you doing over there? Pay attention. Get back in the conversation.
For real. I think he's 16 targets. I think double-digit catches, like 12 catches, something like that. Over 150 yards. I think he's got 3 touchdowns. 97% snap count.
Yeah.
Those are green flags.
Yeah.
There's no red flags in those stats. The numbers don't lie.
I agree with you.
So,
You think it's
and
real for real?
you know what happens if Case Keenum gets benched?
Yeah.
Fire up Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
College teammates.
Got that Rudolph, James Washington.
I've always
duo.
kind of dreamed in Madden when I was playing video games that you can like shift. You can bring the same people from the same school
Yeah.
and play them together. And we're seeing more and more of that.
Yeah.
It could happen
About
more.
to see it in your town, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
We might see it in with the Redskins.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It's close to happening.
Case Keenum's not that
Well,
franchise
shit.
quarterback.
Look at the Brownies. We got the LSU boys out wide.
Sure, yeah.
Like I
So,
like this. I like how-
chemistry.
Yeah.
My Scary Terry take is the opposite of Josh Jacobs. I think he's an okay receiver. I think his opportunity in Washington is through the charts.
Yeah.
I think his fantasy production is for real. They're going to be down a lot. They're going to be slinging the rock. And he's the #1 receiver. He's a big dude that can run fast.
Yeah.
He's going to
In
catch
every
it.
play. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just math.
He's a nice
That's
route
science.
runner.
If he gets 10
He's
targets
got
a
good
game,
routes.
That's just
science.
Yeah. You can't argue that.
All right, so here's a tough one that we're going a little improv here.
Okay.
Who you got the rest of the year? Christian Kirk or Terry McLaurin?
Ooh.
Terrible.
Ooh, that's tough. I'll go Christian Kirk.
Really?
Science, bro.
They're about equal in terms of like fantasy points and
Yeah.
targets and all that.
I like Christian Kirk's quarterback a lot more.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
This is not even looking at schedule or anything. So.
No, I couldn't
I'm
tell you.
gonna go Kirk. But to say about Scary Terry is, I think Jay Gruden.
He's got a bigger boom potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that offense is just gonna chug the ball all the time.
It's just.
But I think
that's-
Jay Gruden
Yeah.
is sitting at home finishing up a dinner right now.
The Redskins' pace of play.
Thinking about how you can get Terry the ball.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's actually thinking how he can slow the game down and run the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So I
Redskins' pace of play is not even close to the Cardinals. The Cardinals might run twice as many plays this year. as
Terry's
the
Geis
Redskins.
is hurt. I mean, they're gonna have to throw.
Well, I have both those guys
Yeah.
on my roster.
Yeah,
by the way,
I
so.
had Geis.
You motherfucker! You were just trying to have us tell you who to start.
It's a good discussion for everybody.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. I see what you're doing here.
All right, but
We got a brand new segment for you guys. Another new segment. This might be a regular thing. We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
We're gonna do the old lunch table segment. Who
Yeah.
are you sitting with at the lunch
Who
table?
y'all sitting with? Let's bring up the picture here. We'll
Yeah.
throw it over top of the video so you guys can get a good look. We'll leave it there for a while.
So picture yourself walking into a cafeteria. You got your little PB&J, a little carton of milk.
That little slice of
You're the
pizza
cool
you
kid.
get.
You're the cool kid at school. You get your choice. Are you sitting with the Asian nerds or the jocks? You get to pick.
Or you want the hot chicks over here in the corner.
Right. So I'll start.
Ooh, me gusta.
I'll start. We kind of, did this according, relative to some of the fantasy teams in our league.
Sure.
A little bit different. I went with what is kind of Banghart's team, and again, we're assuming everyone's healthy here. I think that's
Right.
just
Definitely
fair.
made this.
I think that's fair as well.
So the table I'm going with is Alvin Kamara, who I think is a top 3 running back. This dude is just a freak. If Drew Brees is there, he's a lot better, obviously. Kerryon Johnson is an RB2. You guys all know Kerryon has always been my boy. Drafted him late last year, hung on to him all year.
Yep.
Today, Detroit cut C.J. Anderson. So his carries are just going to go through the roof. This dude could finish as a RB1.
Yeah.
And then receiver, what more could you ask for? You got You got Devontae Adams, Mr. Reliable, A-Rod throwing to him, and then you got Tyreek Hill, the boomer bust.
Yeah.
And then, my favorite quarterback, who I think's for real, obviously, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I gotta take him.
That's a solid table there.
Yeah.
Tito, who are you sitting with if you walk into this cafeteria?
So originally the Deshaun Watson, Juju Odell table looked good, but honestly, I was just looking at this again. I think minus Cam Newton, the James Conner, Josh Jacobs, Michael Thomas, and Robert Woods table is not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have Michael Thomas getting a lot of targets because Teddy Bridgewater's a quarterback and he's your best receiver, so they're gonna push him the ball.
Let's assume Drew Brees is still healthy though.
Okay, yeah, all right. But even the other two running backs there, they're gonna have to feed the ball through him to get any kind of offense going. James Conner's gonna be a security blanket this week, so that's a great. Other than Cam Newton, that's a great table.
Yeah. Do something about your quarterbacks, Eddie.
Yeah. I'm trying to make moves over here.
Looking like Medea, playing like Medea.
I like all these tables are really nice to be honest. But the one that I like, I gotta go with Saquon, Aaron Jones, Antonio Brown, Adam Thielen, and Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz stays healthy, dude's an MVP caliber quarterback.
Squad.
He's up there. Saquon Barkley. Do we even need to explain that guy? Aaron Jones. Dude's hot.
This week he looked really fucking
Dude's
good.
real hot.
Yeah.
He had a rough week 1 against the Bears.
He did.
Defense, but
Everyone's gonna have a rough week against the Bears.
guy's a nice running back to have. Antonio Brown, you know what I mean? He's arguably the best wide receiver in the league. And then Adam Thielen.
Fucking scumbag is what he
Monster.
is. Fucking scumbag is what he is.
Yeah, Thielen, if he gets the targets, I mean, he's a...
He went off last
Shooter.
year for me, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens the rest of the year.
I like that table.
And Shep Dog.
I like Shep's table.
Where are you sitting?
Well, nobody wants to talk about my team. I have to make crazy trades to get you guys to chatter a little bit about it. I'm gonna go with Anthony's team simply because we're talking about Atlanta's defense. I think they're gonna have to chuck the ball a lot. Their running game looks horrible too. Freeman.
So you're saying Matt Ryan?
I think the
Julio Jones,
Matt Ryan,
Christian
Julio.
McCaffrey, Devin Singletary,
Yeah.
Travis Kelce.
So I think Matt Ryan, Julio. That's gonna be
stack.
That's a good
It's a good
stack.
stack
If
there.
they heat up, they can carry a team pretty far.
Yeah.
McCaffrey with Cam playing like Dooku booted up right now. I think the offense has to run strictly through him as much as possible.
Definitely.
Singletary, the Bills are going to run the ball. They should be running the ball, and they should be using
Fucking
him.
get Frank
Using
Gore
him.
out of there.
Yeah.
And then Kelsey, best tight end in football.
Zeus. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I think that wraps up the segments of the week. Let's,
All right. We're going to say bye to Tyler, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Good to
he'll...
see you, Tito.
We appreciate you coming on the show. I'm sure
It's a
we'll see
long
you back.
season.
Team got beat up. Team got
See
beat
you
up.
week 3, motherfucker.
Ooh, week
Team
3
got beat
matchup
up.
right here.
You're looking beat up.
Hey, I actually looked at my fantasy lineup this morning and I woke up and this was just there. I got my ass beat so bad this week.
He woke up with a black eye.
I just woke up. I woke up fucked up like this.
You did.
Tom did a number on me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, hopefully it'll heal up.
It is what it is, man. I'm coming. I got some things brewing on my phone right now.
Yep. All right.
Probably talk about it next week. Let's scooch this win.
In this week's Ouija, are you with me? We're gonna ask Mr. Ouija board this week with no Michael Gallup
He's injured.
where Amari Cooper is gonna finish as a week 3 wide receiver. You guys ready for this?
Let's do this.
I'm gonna check it in.
Alright.
Ouija, are you with me? Oh shit, I didn't even touch that. Number 3.
I think that's a sick
number
bet.
3.
I like Amari Cooper this week.
Dak is hot.
Yeah.
He is.
Dak
So hot
Prescott.
right now.
Dak's so hot right now.
Set
So
Dak
hot right
Prescott, man.
Yeah.
Dude, Dak.
Amari, number 3. Fire him up.
And if I could,
You got him in your draft game?
if I could only think of
My
who they're
draft
playing this week, I would talk about how bad that defense is. But I know it's a good matchup for him.
It is a good
That's
matchup. Who does Dallas have? Miami.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas is playing Miami. Amari Cooper, the Ouija Moore
top
might
five
have been
block,
safe
man.
here.
Yeah.
He might be the number 1 receiver this week. We'll find
tune
out.
in.
We'll find out.
you know,
I think I
you know
like
what they-
Hopkins matchup a lot too.
Let's also just remember that Dolphins just shipped off their only hope of guarding Amari Cooper.
They did.
Yeah.
Jalen's gone. I don't expect
That's
him to
right.
play this week, so.
No, Mika.
It's Mika.
Oh, yeah, the Dolphins,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking about.
All right, if you guys remember last week, we talked a lot about our man Evan Ingram. Didn't play that great this week.
He had some good garbage points that
He's
saved
a
him.
safe tight end each and every week with giant upside.
Yeah.
All that we care about is this guy stays healthy. He's got a new quarterback throwing to him this week.
Danny Dimes.
Danny
That's right.
Dime Sack. And he's getting the rock to his
He's
big
going to
tight
get
end.
peppered, I bet.
Is Danny Dimes serving up some Reggie, or has he got the good shit this
Oh,
week?
he's got the kush.
I hope so. We'll
All right.
find out.
We'll see.
Let's
All
pray,
right.
boys. Dear fantasy football gods, please look over Evan Ingram this week. We wish him peace, wealth, and health.
Amen.
Amen.
And that'll wrap it up for us this week. Week 2 podcast episode with the Guardians of the Gridiron.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you fuckers next week.
Take care. Good luck. That's your title.